I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're here. Wish it could be other ways. Some of us are gone. Did you notice that light crowd today? The askers usually sit right there. They're not there. And the Nelsons are usually back here. I don't see any of the Nelsons. Did you see them, Deanna? I thought the Wills were going to be gone. They always sit here, but they're just trying to mess me up. I have noticed that all the Richies aren't here. Some of them, one of them is here, but the rest of them, I don't know. I don't know whether they're gone for good or just gone for the weekend. You do know, of course, that the rapture was supposed to have taken place. May 21st. Some guy named Harold Camping. How many of you have ever heard of him before this whole thing started? Anybody? I didn't either. Some guy named Harold Camping, representing some group that calls themselves Family Radio, has absolutely convinced everybody that they got the right date. And they use this convoluted numerical equation that used everything from the exact date of Noah's flood to a quote from 2 Peter 3 to Pat Robertson's hat size to the number of Green Bay Packers Super Bowl championships. May 21st, Judgment Day. October 21st, the end of the world. I was driving down, some of you may have seen this, driving down, I think it was Johnson Ferry at Woodlawn some weeks ago, and there were two men at the corner. Did you see them with crosses, wooden crosses, 3 words on each cross? Are you ready? Well, are you? Nobody wants to be left behind. Now, folks, we can poke fun at Harold Camping and all of those religious fanatics all we want to, but there is a serious side to their silly projections. For a lot of people out there, life has been so hard for so long that they begin to wonder if the only way out is the rapture. For a lot of people, the question they're asking is, does God exist? And even if he does exist, does he exist in their lives? Jesus says here in today's text, I will not leave you orphaned. I will come to you. But I got to tell you, there are an awful lot of people who are wondering. Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Ringgold, Georgia, Joplin, Missouri. I talked with Jennifer this morning, and she's concerned tomorrow about Minneapolis, Minnesota. Where in the heck was God then? I will not leave you orphaned. I will come to you. Folks, we religious people can talk about the presence of God all we want to, but the fact of the matter is that there are large chunks of time where God is best known by God's absence and not God's presence. My God, why have you forsaken me? Are words that I suspect all of us have cried. The refrain from one of my favorite hymns goes something like this. And he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. Is that true? Is it true? And what does the hand look like, even if it is true? Maybe today's text gives us a clue. Did you count them? How many times? For Patton. 14 is exactly correct. 14 used in this text. You listening, folks? What's critically important about that is that every one of them is second person plural. Not singular, plural. The gift of the Holy Spirit, the presence of the living God, the revelation of Jesus Christ is given to the community and not the individual. It's in community, in relationship with each other, that the presence of God is best known. It is in the faces and the lives of people where we more clearly see that we are not and have never been orphaned. Where would we be without community? It was the Weather Channel, Jennifer, where I first heard of this as they were interviewing people after Tuscaloosa and Ringgold and Joplin, Missouri. And they were asking people, where do you go now? And did you hear that? There was a refrain that everybody kept saying. You remember what it was? Moving forward, what was it? We will rebuild. Not me. We. Because they realized there's a power of we that you can never find in me. That power of we hit home for me here at LCR a couple weeks ago. I asked Sue Logan if I could tell her story. And George, I deeply appreciate her willingness for me to share it. Most of you know that Sue Logan has been diagnosed with cancer. It's the kind of cancer that you have to do chemotherapy first in order to begin to arrest it. And the chemotherapy, as difficult as that is, will make a person begin to lose their hair. Instead of going off by herself and quietly having her hair begin to fall out and bemoaning it and being in isolation by herself, do you know what Sue did? Kathy, what'd she do? You're going to make me cry. She had a party. She got together some of the best friends she ever had, and they cut her hair together, and they ate together, and they drank together, and maybe drank some more together, and they laughed together, and they cried together, and are you listening, folks? They held each other in the palms of their hands. I will not leave you orphaned. I will come to you. It's in the community. It's in the faces and the lives of people that those words come true. George, take our love to Sue today. Folks, I don't know when the rapture will happen. I don't think we're supposed to know. But I do know this. Until it does, it's in the faces of real people and in the lives of real people that we begin to understand the presence of the living God as we hold their hands and as they hold ours. Surely that's what Jesus meant when he says, in a little while the world will see me no more, but you will see me. Is there a higher calling in this world than to be the face of God for one another?